मॉर्निंग टू ऑल स्टूडेंट्स। मेरा नाम ऋषभ शर्मा है और आज हम क्रिस्टलोग्राफी का एक महत्वपूर्ण टॉपिक मिलर इंडिसेस को आपसे डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। मिलर इंडिसेस एक्चुअली मिलर एक साइंटिस्ट का नाम है। मिलर ने क्रिस्टल प्लेन्स को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए एक इंडिसेस और एक इंटीजर नंबर्स का सेट दिया, जिसको हम मिलर इंडिसेस के नाम से जानते हैं। मिलर इंडिसेस एक्चुअली एक इंटीजर नंबर है जिसके लिए एक स्पेसिफिक प्रोसीजर था जो मिलर के द्वारा फॉलो किया गया और वो उससे मिलर इंडिसेस प्राप्त हुई। मिलर पैरेलल क्रिस्टल प्लेन्स का सेट हमें देता है और बहुत सारी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां मिलर इंडिसेस से हमें प्राप्त होती हैं, वो हम आज डिस्कस करते हैं। आज के लेक्चर की आउटलाइन ये है कि मिलर इंडिसेस का प्रोसीजर क्या है, मिलर इंडिसेस से हम प्लेन कैसे ड्रॉ करेंगे और किसी प्लेन के लिए मिलर इंडिसेस कैसे प्राप्त करेंगे। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मिलर इंडिसेस कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं। मिलर एक्चुअली ब्रिटिश क्रिस्टलोग्राफर थे। Actually, crystals are made up of cluster of atoms, and cluster of atoms represent by the crystal parallel planes. To represent the parallel crystal planes, Miller gives some indices which are known as the Miller indices. Crystal is represented by parallel crystal planes, and this is the atomic lattice site and this is the interplanar spacing or interatomic distance in the crystal structure. So first of all, to represent the Miller indices for any crystal, four steps followed by the Miller. Step number 1, to determine the intercept for the axis, crystallographic axis actually. For example, for x-axis is equal to 2a, for y-axis is equal to 2b, or for z-axis is equal to c. These are the intercept for the crystal planes. If it is a cubic structure, if it is x-axis, it is y-axis or it is z-axis. It is the lattice parameter for the x-axis, this is the lattice parameter for the y-axis, and this is the parameter for the z-axis. If x cut to a intercept on the x-axis, so for example x is equal to 2a. Okay, one unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit. X cut at 2a, y cut at, this is the x axis, this is the y axis, this is the z axis. Y cut at 2b, z cut at c. It is a crystal plane. Okay. Now, step 2. Divide these Miller indices, divide this intercept by the lattice parameters. Lattice parameters. X is equal to 2a by 2a. A is the lattice parameter on the x-axis. Y is equal to 2b over b. Z is equal to c over c. So 2 or 1. Okay. In step 3rd, reciprocal of these numbers 1 by 2, 1 by 2 or 1 by 1. Okay. Now step 4, we change this ratio in the integer number. 2 into 1 by 2, 2 into 1 by 2 or 2 into 1 by 1. Okay, 1, 1 or 2. It's covered in the bracket and this is called the Miller indices. Okay, it is the method to find the Miller indices for any crystal plane. इसको आप लिख लीजिए. Now we will discuss about some important property of Miller indices. Actually, Miller indices explain the different properties of the crystal. For example, the infinite intercept represent that the crystal is parallel to these axes. If Z is equal to infinite intercept, means crystal plane is parallel to the Z axis. If Y is equal to infinite intercept, means crystal plane is parallel to the Y axis. Okay. Important properties about Miller indices. Number 8. Infinite represent the plane is parallel to these axes. That's it. X is equal to 2a, y is equal to 3b, or z is equal to infinite. If we change in the Miller indices, 2a over a, 3b over b, or infinite over c. Now 2, 3 or infinite, 1 by 2, take reciprocal of these numbers, 1 by 3 or 1 by infinite. Okay. So Miller indices for this plane, for this crystal plane is 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by infinite. According to step 4, we change this ratio in the complete integer number or integer number multiplied by 6 into these three numbers. 6 into 1 by 3 or 6 into 1 by infinite. Okay. So 3, 2 or 0. This is the Miller indices for this plane. Z is equal to infinite means Z is crystal plane is parallel to the Z axis. Okay. If we want to represent the plane for this Miller indices, 320. Now we will represent the plane for this Miller indices. This is the x-axis, this is y-axis, or this is z-axis. X cut on 3, 1, 2 or 3. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the z-axis. Okay. X cut on 3, y cut on 2. Z cut on 0. So the parallel line of this axis is this. Now हम इसको इस एक्सिस से मिला सकते हैं और दिस प्लेन is parallel to the z axis and this plane is no cut the z axis at any point. Okay, this is the plane parallel to z axis plane. 320 प्लेन और बहुत सारे प्लेन हम ड्रॉ करना सीखेंगे मिलर इंडिसेस से स्टेप बाय स्टेप. दिस इज द प्लेन फॉर 320 क्रिस्टल प्लेन. Another important property is that negative Miller indices represented by the bar. For example, if any plane is cut on the negative z-axis, then the Miller indices for this intercept be represented by the 1 bar or 2 bar or 3 bar example. If x cut at minus 2a, y cut at minus 3b, z cut at 0. Infinite. Okay. Now take reciprocal of these number or take or divide it by the lattice parameter for the crystal plane. Step 2, minus 2a by a for y-axis minus 3b by b or infinite upon by c. Okay, minus 2 minus 3 or infinite. Now step 3, take reciprocal of these number. बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल हम करेंगे. 1/2, 1/3 और 1 over infinite. Okay. Step 4. Now change in smallest integer. Minus 1/2 into 6 minus 1/3 into 6 or 0 into 6 minus 3 minus 2 or 0. Now this Miller indices is represented by the 3 bar, 2 bar or 0. So negative intercept or on any axis, when we change this intercept in the Miller indices, it represented by the bar on this Miller indices. Okay. इसको नोट कर लो। Another important property about the Miller indices is that a set of Miller indices या a Miller indices for any plane represent the all Miller indices for the parallel planes। जैसे अगर हम Miller indices रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं 100 तो वही Miller indices से हम 100, 200, 300 infinite number of parallel plane of this type we can represent it in single Miller indices। For example, if we have intercept, set of intercept is equal to x is equal to a plane, or yeah, we want to represent the x is equal to a plane। Okay, so x is equal to a, y is equal to infinity और z is equal to infinity। This is the intercept on the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively। The question is that represent the x is equal to a plane। तो ये understood है कि if x is equal to a then y is equal to infinite और z is equal to infinite। Okay, now change in the Miller indices by the specific procedure which is followed by the Miller। Okay, now take the reciprocal or divide it by the lattice parameter, then we can change it in the Miller indices। Step 1, divided by the lattice parameter, infinite over b or infinite over c, or the one infinite or infinite। Step 2, reciprocal 1 by 1, 1 by infinite or 1 by infinite। Okay, change in step 3, one, 0, 0। This is the Miller indices for x is equal to a plane। For x is equal to a plane, Miller indices is 1, 0, 0, and we want to represent this plane। Okay, this is the cubic structure। And this is the side x and cut on unit। So 1, 0, 0 coordinate। Okay, and this plane is equal to x is equal to a plane, x is equal to one plane, and this plane is parallel to y-axis or z-axis respectively, and cut no intercept on the y-axis or on the z-axis respectively। Okay, another property about the Miller indices is that, आप इसको नोट कर लीजिए, x is equal to a plane। We also calculate the crystal plane यहीं से आप लोगों के लिए एक होमवर्क है, जिस तरह से x इजिकल टू a के लिए प्लेन हमने ड्रॉ किया है, उसी तरह से क्वेश्चंस फॉर आपके लिए हैं ये। x इजिकल टू a, y इजिकल टू b और z इजिकल टू इनफाइनाइट। आप लोगों को ये प्लेन ड्रॉ करना है और x इजिकल टू a, y इजिकल टू b, z इजिकल टू c। These are the intercepts on x axis, y axis, z axis respectively। उसी प्रोसीजर के द्वारा जो मिलर ने फॉलो किया, डिवाइडेड बाय द लैटिस पैरामीटर, टेक रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ दीज नंबर्स and change in the interior number, we find the Miller indices. After that we draw the plane and